I love you, Kiran.
Seems quite obvious when a superstar stands and makes history. Try doing that is real life and tell me how this actually. Welcome to the real world. A world where a stammer might end up as a disability, whereas on Shah Rukh Khan, it might end up as a legendary statement. Kiran might not sound too great on screen, but with no cuts or takes. Imagine if I were to say, "Hi, I'm Rahul Pandit," then for once, probably you wouldn't want to hear the talk, right? This journey from Kiran to Kiran is what this TEDx talk is all about. This is a story about a previous alumni of the school who couldn't speak out his name till class 8th and has been a 3-time student of the year, national sports, national winner in terms of swimming, table tennis, everything. So this is the story of beyond boundaries. How did I overcome that fear of stammering, and I went beyond those boundaries. Glamour. You all know glamour. For you, glamour might be a nice model walking on the ramp, or perhaps glamour might be a Louis Vuitton bag. For me, at a time when I was born or when I got my voice, glamour was speech. For me, speaking very normally or very easily was a glamour, a very rare opportunity which I could receive. All our Indian parents have those bahanas to say, have those arguments. Mom, why do I stammer? Oh, when you were 3 years old, you had a very bad fever. That is why you stammer. Oh, really? Is it a physical disability? No. It was that fever. Ho jayega. It'll happen. It'll be okay. Being a Kashmiri Pandit, we had to go out of the Kashmir Valley. But during terror times, there was a time when my mother had to actually keep my mouth shut with her hands and go under the staircase. That was the best time I had because I didn't have to speak anything. I was like, wow, these are the best 12 hours of my life that I don't have to say anything. So we left Kashmir, and to top it all, being from the Jammu region and everybody's after studies, I was sent to a boarding school. So imagine what else can happen, what best can happen for a guy who stammers. He's sent to a boarding school away from his mom and dad. So I had no choice. I had to confront my fears because here I had no one to, you can say, nobody was behind me. And thank God it was a boys' school. What happens is that in co-ed schools, there are boys, there are girls. Boys need to impress girls. Thank God I didn't have any girls to impress. Otherwise, these days you have those pronouns thing. I wouldn't have any pronouns to express. I was still trying to hide. There were so in boarding schools, I had parents, I had people who did not have parents. So they used to ease me out by saying, Rahul, thank God you have parents. There's nothing like stammering, it's okay. So I was trying to find comfort in all those things. Now it's okay, they don't have parents, at least I'm only stammering. I was just trying to hide. I was just trying to again and again hide. Fear for everybody. I'll tell you, everybody. Once you get that fear, fear doesn't know about zip codes. It doesn't know about language. It doesn't know about weather, anything. So I came to Jammu. I thought, I'm going to a different place, back to my homeland, back to my mom and dad. New life, new rules, new stuff, new vibes, new classmates. But the insecurity was the same. Worse now because everybody around me. There are many alumni over here who are my classmates. Because once you come to this school, once you come to a school in class 5th, 6th, 7th, everybody is growing very, you can say, fast, with confidence, wit, fluency. But I was strictly trying to hide. I was growing up, but my voice wasn't growing up. What happens in school is that you must have observed sometimes the loudest, they earn respect. And a silence is always mistaken for weakness. I was quiet not by choice, but because my words simply wouldn't come out. Every sentence, you would have seen those obstacle courses that like you run over those obstacles. Every sentence felt like an obstacle course. My stammer felt like a lens which was all blurred through which I saw the world. I wanted to speak, I couldn't speak. I wanted to understand, I would get all those blurred thoughts around me just because I couldn't say anything. Everybody whispered mockery sometimes. Sometimes you over your stuff, Arey yaar, see, look at him, he's stammering, he's doing this, he's doing that. So that got the self-esteem below. I would always rehearse a question 1,000 times in my house, but once I used to come to school, this couldn't happen. This was always here. I couldn't just say anything and raise my question or anything. I avoided conversations after light out as well. Sometimes even speaking to myself used to be very difficult. How do I speak to myself? What if I stammer to myself as well? In 8th class, I was not just a boy who avoided anything. I avoided eye contact as well, which is very, 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 very bad. I never showed up to any kind of auditions, drama auditions, festivals, class presentations. I always lived in the background. There's a very ironical tale I want to say. Apart from that, I was always good at studies, everything. So the zeal to excel was always there. So what happened once was that there was a Rakhi making competition in school. So I said, no, I'll take part in the Rakhi making competition. But I was so confused, I didn't get anything to school. So what happened was that my school teacher said that, Rahul, you don't have anything, how will you make a Rakhi? Now imagine my creativity was there, my interest was there, my thoughts were there, everything, the strategy was there. I said, ma'am, just give me one thread and give me Fevicol. She said, what will you do with it? How can you make a Rakhi out of it? I said, please give it to me, na. I took it. I said, can I go out of the classroom for like 10 minutes? She said, yes, go. I went out to the school gardens. I got some leaves, got some flowers, just stuck them, made a Rakhi out of it, put it on a paper and wrote biodegradable Rakhi. I got second prize. I will conclude again that there was a fear of stammering, but the fear of letting go of that was always there. You can say that you always have that in you with anything that you do. Life has a very strange way of giving you a choice. So all the people around you who have a stammer, who don't have a stammer, who have a fear, who perhaps are stopping, hiding something, life gives you a choice that you stay afraid or you stop hiding. There was an inter-house school debate competition. This was the turning point of my life. There was a personality development coach or something who came to our school campus from Chandigarh. And with my class teacher who had observed me throughout my journey of like 3-4 years, used to observe that, okay, he's very good at everything, but because of the stammering issue, he's holding back. They just confronted me. And I asked them a question. I said, how can I get rid of it? People are doing so good. A person is excelling. There are debate competitions happening. There's singing competitions happening. I can't say anything, and probably it is affecting everything at the back end. They said a very good thing, that you go on the stage, speak yourself out. You don't have to speak like anyone else. You just have to say what you say. I don't know what happened, but that thing stuck. It stuck so bad because I saw that potential behind that pause. I signed up for the debate competition. Imagine a guy who used to say like, my name is Rahul Pandita. I signed up for an inter-school debate competition. Terrified, unprepared, but very, very, very determined. I wrote, practiced endlessly. My mirror became my audience. I looked at the mirror and I thought, okay, these are my 800 people. Right now, like you are there, I saw the mirror. My stammer was there, but there was this desire to excel, this desire to go beyond those boundaries. That boundary was created, but that was that moment where I thought, let me break them. Let me try and do something, because my life was ahead. I'm in class 8. I see my parents who are like in their 40s. I see my grandparents who are in their, I have to go to that life, probably excel. I have my own thoughts. I've come out of Kashmir. I need to do this. I want to be a CEO of a company. Everything was there. So everything I envisioned and looked at that mirror for once. The day of the debate, my hands were trembling, my heart was racing. The first few lines I stumbled, but then I found rhythm. Something happened incredibly, like you're listening to me, that entire room listened. I came second in that debate. I came second, guys. For me, that second was more than that gold. Because I defeated myself. I defeated my fear, my silence. Finally, I was not hiding. Finally, I was not hiding. So here I was, finally myself, suddenly myself. Who thought these stairs, these were the exact stairs. Perhaps the tiles are also saying. These stairs were the stairs. Who thought that a simple walk up these stairs would change everything? It would change a person standing in front of you who has had multiple startups, doing a lot of work. Perhaps after this, I was so good at sports. I got scholarships. After that, I went for management. I was the first guy to get placed on campus day 0. Everything happened. Debates were a very small thing. Once that fear was conquered, it was not that stammer. It was that fear that needed to be conquered. That effort to go beyond those boundaries. So I say fluency is not a problem. Again, fluency can be in any form. Not essentially talk. It can be anything. It can be the way you conduct yourself, the strange, you can say, fears inside you. That is fluency. It is honesty. And honesty in a spoken form. Spoken form means application. Right now, the honesty in which I speak is the honesty of speech. Honesty in your behavior can also be an honesty. When in a spoken form is more powerful than any polished pitch. Very, very surprisingly, everybody has a stammer. I always used to say, whenever I used to perhaps back myself up, still sometimes I stammer. So I say everybody has a stammer. They say, how? How does everybody has a stammer? I said, maybe not in speech. It can be in self-belief, it can be in trauma, it can be in fear. Sometimes hesitation, withdrawal, and self-doubt. You understand a relationship. Most of you are very young to have relationships, but a lot of people here in the front rows are in good relationships. All relationships are full of stammers. Everybody knows that. Husbands stammer when the wives notice. A wife would say, where were you? I said, I went for a meeting. So that is a stammer. Wives stammer when their husbands ignore. Hey, why aren't you picking my call? No, I was there I was at a kitty party. A child stammers when when their parents don't notice. Papa, please get me that toy, please. And the worst kind of a stammer is, imagine that call you don't pick, or perhaps a call that you want to make and that person doesn't pick. That unattended call and that person towards the other side, or that unspoken word when that person is not there, that stammer stays inside you. So that is the worst stammer that anybody would have. Sometimes that person is no more and you wanted to say your world out. So that is the biggest stammer that you can get. What I would tell everybody is that anything, stammer, wherever you get stuck, anything in life, you name it, you face it, which is very important. And then you choose to speak, choose to act, choose to speak. That is where your transformation will begin. Your voice doesn't need to be flawless. It just needs to be yours, your act, your voice, anything. So when I speak today, I don't represent a perfect speaker. I represent that scared child. I represent that doubting teen. I represent that nervous adult, which still I am, who still stumbles sometimes. Still, when I fight with my wife, sometimes I say, what are you doing? She said, look at you, like this. So I represent that, but I chose how to face my fears. And I represent that choice. I made for everyone else to never let silence win again. Because the world doesn't need more perfect speakers. It needs authentic ones. Now coming back to my main statement, why was Kiran so popular? Because that had emotions of Mr. Shah Rukh Khan. So everybody loved it, heard it, and still you can say it. That is why, thank you, that was the time.